Hey guys, Don Miller here. I want to talk to you today about Athearn engines and the company Athearn.com. Recently I had purchased a Genesis SD70i Canadian cab undecorated. I painted the engine, did all the work itself. When I put the engine on the track, it would barely run, and I was extremely disappointed. It didn't matter what I did. And since it was a brand new engine, I felt Athearn should address my problem. I also purchased, this is my New York Central that's been mildly weathered. I had to clean it up a little bit. This one right here, through a individual I speak with on the Train Life website I go to, told me about the Athearn problem with their trucks. Well, my F unit had that problem. Every time it would go around the track, it would derail midway in the track, and the axle would actually steer to the right on the rear axle, the rear truck. I took my truck off and I took the motor out of my SD70i, and I contacted Athearn through an email. And I explained to them that I was a concerned consumer about the way I have read they were handling the issues and the complaints they've had concerning Horizon Hobby. And what I found out was that I don't know if those people actually ever contacted them personally or if they just wrote a nasty email to them. I find that you get a lot more better results when you're not ugly in your emails or even your phone calls to people. I sent Athearn an email expressing my disappointment in this engine and expressing my disappointment in my F unit about the way the truck tracks to the right when it goes around my layout. Athearn called me 2 days later because I left them a cell phone number. They called me personally. Actually, it was David in technical support. David contacted me and expressed to me that if I was to, he asked questions first about my problems. Let me back up a little bit. He asked questions about my problem, and he said, we know that we have a problem with the SD70i engines and the trucks being warped. It was a quality control issue that it took a while for them to figure out. He did address it. He also addressed my engine problem and told me if I send my motor in and the truck from my F unit, they will replace it for free. Okay, I did that. A week and a half later, I was thinking they're going to be gone 6-7 weeks, maybe 2 months before I get parts, because I read guys saying where they didn't get parts back for 8 or 9 months, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm in no rush. I've got plenty of trains. It's no big deal. I sent it off. A week and a half later, Chuck calls me from parts, and he starts discussing prices. And I explained to him, I said, Chuck, I spoke with David in technical support. He told me that if I send those parts in, you guys will replace them for free since these engines were still under Athearn warranty. That is exactly what they did. They sent me a brand new motor, and they sent me a brand new truck unit, completely with the wires, the leads, brand new side frames, wheels, the whole 9 yards. I put it on the F unit, ran around the track, ran beautifully. Put my motor back in, put it back on the track, did the same exact thing. Okay. Now I'm thinking, well, maybe it's something else then, and the motor wasn't really the problem. So I disassembled the trucks, and I noticed that when I rolled the trucks, they seemed like they were a little tight. So I had a set of new side frames that have the pickup strips in them. I put those on it. I put the new leads on it and the wire side frames, the wires with the side frames in there. I soldered my leads to the side frame. And then I reinstalled the side frames in the plastic pieces that they hold on. Put them all together. If you've never taken a Genesis truck apart, be careful when you remove the side frames. You have to remove the bottom gear housing cover first, then you can remove the side frames. If I had one here to demonstrate, I'd show you how to do it. It's really simple, but you have to do it that way. So I did all that, took it all apart, put it to the side, see if there was a problem, installed the new side frames, put it back on the track, bam, same problem. Okay, now I'm thinking, oh, this is ridiculous. What I did was I ran test leads off of my track to the motor, hot wiring it, and the motor ran like a champ. I was like, oh my gosh. So the only thing I changed was, that circuit board, the only purpose that circuit board has is there are resistors on there to reduce the voltage to the lighting on the rear and the forward of the engine. I removed that circuit board and I wired them directly. Engine ran beautifully around the track. I had contacted Athearn that same day by telephone, and I left a message. Well, David called me back. Now, he didn't know who I was, because I'm sure he gets 1,000 phone calls a day. He didn't know that he had just sent me engines and stuff like that. I gave him the stock number of my engine, and he said, "Oh boy, that's an old model." I said, "Yeah, I know. This is my pit bull right here, trying to get in the picture." This is Marley. Hi, Marley. No, Marley's a good girl. Marley's my sweetie. Oh, come here. Come on. Meet Marley. Say hi, Marley. This is Marley. Hello, Marley. Marley's my sweetie girl. Hi, baby. So, Athearn sends me, he talks to me on the phone, David does, and he says, "Well, we've never experienced a problem with the SD70i being slow." And I said, "Well, let me tell you what the problem is." I found the circuit board was limiting the amount of voltage going to the motor itself, the DC motor. And he told me, "I can see that in DCC operation, but I could not understand why it would occur in DC operation." So I thought maybe, for some reason, that board, it's only a printed circuit board. Perhaps some point in time that circuit board got damaged. I bypassed the circuit board, I straight wired the motor, removed the circuit board altogether, and the motor has run beautifully ever since. I want you to know what I do think about Athearn. I think Athearn products are top notch. I'm not crazy about their steam engine, and in my personal opinion, I would not waste my money on one. They're just not that good. The detail is not that good. Not near as good as their diesels are. My personal, professional opinion about it, and I've been doing this for 15 years, Athearn should stick with diesels and leave the steam engines alone. They've just come out with their Genesis line of the USRA Pacific, the USRA Light Mikados, the 2A2s. They're not a good engine. They don't produce well, they don't perform well. Anything over 15 cars, they're having problems. So, in my opinion, in that respect, I wouldn't waste my money on them. The SD70i, I do it. Now, I want to show you one more engine while I got you on here that I have purchased. This is the newest engine of my fleet of Genesis engines. This is an FP45. The Mars light lights up. It's only one. It's got the white light, and then it's got the red light just below it. Then your nose light works beautifully, not a problem. I don't have DCC operation. I just haven't gotten there yet. My millions of dollars hasn't come in yet, but it's working on it. Believe me, it's coming. It's coming soon. It's coming real soon. The engine itself weighs a good. I bet you it weighs a good 2 pounds. It's a beautiful engine. The detail is crisp. The way it runs is perfect. It runs absolutely excellent. And when you put it on the track and it pulls, we'll say 20 cars in a manifest, loaded down to the gills, train has no problem pulling all of them. And it takes off like a rocket when you hit the throttle. I got this off eBay. I thought it was a great purchase. I got it for a really good price from a guy. He obviously took care of it. He didn't trash it out. You see the detail in the grills. Those are fine mesh grills that you can actually see through. You see the radiator fans. They're all real. Real screenings on them. Real fan blades. A detailed interior cab. The trucks are well detailed with the brake cylinders, the diaphragms. And then your fuel tank has the reading marker right there. And then if you see right there, there is actually a fuel tank opening to put the fuel into. I think as far as this engine goes, Athearn did an excellent job of recreating the FP45 in the Genesis model. This engine performs as beautiful as it looks. If you want to buy a fantastic engine, I recommend this one right here. However, the only thing I didn't like about it, and it was kind of struck me weird, was that they're using the same covers as the blue box engines use, which I thought was kind of weird because you look at that. This is a Genesis model, all right? Great engine. It's DCC ready. Not equipped, but it is DCC ready with the 8-plug and MRA plug on it, the 8-pin. Good looking engine, does great. All right, now you see that. If you look at these trucks, they are the gray trucks, completely different. So that suggests to me that the side frames on that one are completely different than this one. They're not the same way. You see this Genesis model right here, which is an older Phase 3. This is probably a 2001 model. It's a Phase 3 F3A. And this also is a 2001 model, but you see it has the same types of trucks on it. The plastic side frames, the pickup leads right there. Very good engine now. I mean, after I took the circuit board out, it's a very good engine. My recommendation is if you like fine detail, Athearn Genesis is the way to go. I don't own any MTH models or any MTH trains. I've heard some horror stories about the circuit boards on them. I heard the details are outstanding, but the circuit boards are printed cheaply. They use Canon motors. I want to show you one more thing before I go, while I got you on here. This is a standard U-boat. Well, that's what we call it anyway. This is a U-28B. It's a New York Central. I got it painted soon to match my Seaboard coastline. I want to show you something. I have done a remotor on this engine. Okay? This is my remotor. This is a 5-wire hookup. There are 2 on the top trucks, 2 on the bottom of the bolsters where they actually mount to the frame, and then your 1 negative lead that goes to the frame. If you look right there, I put a screw in right there. I drilled the hole, I put a screw in. I need to cut that piece off on the bottom. But I put a screw right there in the frame and attached the bottom wire that goes along the strip that you have on the standard Athearn motor and attached it right there. I set the motor into the chassis with some gutter glue, if you want to use. You can use silicone, anything that's a good thick adhesive that you can set that in that's not going to move. This is an old frame from Athearn. It's got the metal side frames. Look, I'm going to tell you something. This motor only costs $5.70 on eBay. It's an Igarashi motor, okay? Excellent, excellent, excellent motor. Outpulls every engine on my fleet, including most of my 12-axle engines and all of my 4-axle engines, okay? This motor is a puller. It is a low RPM, low draw. You don't have to use a lot of power to make this thing move. This is a very high torque motor. Extremely torquey. Uses a standard 2mm shaft flywheel. Easy to hook up. Trust me. Now, the BLI engines, the Broadway Limited, beautiful. I want to buy one. I'm looking forward to it. They use the Igarashi motor. Okay? They use this as a standard motor. I think MTH uses Canon, and then Athearn. I'm not sure who makes Athearn motors. I know the Genesis motor is made by Roco, which is the same company that produced the Atlas motors. They're good motors as well, and what they did to make a difference in that motor, they cut the sides of the case open. With the sides of the case open, the motor stays cooler. It doesn't run near as hot. So, you got that information now. You know what I'm talking about. If I have one here that I could take off, I'd show you, but I don't. Because I have all my engines put back together. But you trust me. You want to buy a good motor, you buy this right here. This Igarashi. I have one over here that's already mounted up. Here. This is one right here that I did with Atlas flywheels. Okay? And you see how it looks. It's all good. Remotor your projects with this engine right here. The Igarashi. Go to YouTube. Look it up. It's Igarashi. Igarashi motors. Okay? This guy on eBay's got them. I'm not sure what his name is. What his website is. But he sells these bad boys for $5.70 a piece. Don't waste your money on a $30 Athearn hex drive motor. You can buy the flywheels from a company called Mainline Hobby on the internet. Look them up. They're out of Pennsylvania. They sell these flywheels for about $5. You can buy 2 of them for $6.95. Forget that garbage on eBay that's selling them for $9 a piece or $28 a piece. Don't do that. Don't waste your money. Go to the eBay, buy this guy from Igarashi, look up the 2mm flywheels on Mainline Hobby in Pennsylvania. I'm going to give them a credit because they sell a great product. They have a lot of other stuff as well, and their shipping is outrageous. It's not outrageous. It's out of this world because it's cheap. I've ordered several things from these people. I pay $5 for the shipping, and they pack it well, they ship it well, and that's all I got to say about that, okay? You see the way it hooked up, you can see my wiring, alright? I've got several of these motors, and I've done a lot of motor rebuilds because I don't believe, I'm not spending 28 bucks on a motor. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. You can buy the Hex Drive motors, another good company, Internet Hobbies. Check them out. They sell the side frames, the plastic, not the plastic, but the Genesis trucks, the Genesis line of trucks for $6 a pair. Okay? I don't know how I found them. I was poking around. The same with the handrails. Here's another good one I want to show you. Okay? Let me put my glasses back on so I can see what I'm doing. Alright? You see these cheap plastic handrails on the internet. Cellcon handrails. They're all over eBay. They're selling for $13 a set. Save your money. Go to Internet Hobbies. He's got the handrails in black or in gray for $6 a package. Buy 2 of them and save on your shipping. Buy 10 of them. Resell them on eBay for $4 cheaper than what the competition is. You're still going to make money. Do it. Check them out. InternetHobbies.com. They sell these handrails there. The Athearn Cellcon handrails. They're cheap. I'm not going to lie to you. They're the cheapest handrails I ever saw in my life. But if you only got to pay $5 for them or $6 a pack instead of $14, which is what they're going for on eBay, why not do it that way? Check that out. What else have I done? Have I checked out? I think that about covers it. You know, I'm working on my layout. Not the biggest layout in the world. It's a 5x8. I'm still working on it. I'm currently disabled. I've got a bad back injury. But I like to see people save money. And I like to see people get good products for a cheap price. There's too many folks on eBay selling the same products you can buy directly and just going to these websites. They accept PayPal. There's a big plus. Visa, credit card, cash, whatever you want to do. But listen, do it. Don't waste your time buying junk that costs lots of money. Go to these people's website, check them out. Check out the Igarashi motor on eBay. Igarashi. Igarashi. Made in the USA. You want to help support America? Buy this motor. I can't stress it enough. You can figure out the driveline. That ain't no big deal. You can go to A-Line, which is Proto Power West, or A-Line Products, or even actually Mainline Hobby. They sell a universal coupling kit for Athearn and Atlas engines. Go to them. Look them up. Dig them up. Do it. Don't waste your money on junk. Don't you buy junk motors off eBay. They're not worth it. Forgive me. Don't you do it. This is Don Miller. I'm coming to you live from my home. And I'll see you next time.